nothing to do. I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house, 'cause I don't wanna feel
Hello
anything.
and welcome. It's Kaylee, and today we're going to be covering quite a few autumn fall activities that I really think you guys are going to enjoy. Before I start throwing out the list, I want you guys to know, if you guys are trying to navigate what you want to do for fall and trying to be able to organize it, I set it up. It's for free on the blog. It's a complete autumn festive to-do list, bucket list. So I'll talk a little bit more about this later in the video about what you get with this. And again, if you want to just skip to it, the link is down below. It's kind of cool. I use this. I made it and I use it. And I think it's a really great way to organize your fall activities. But without further ado, let's get started. You might see me looking over here a lot because this is where my list is at. So number one, host a fall party for two. So when we come into fall, Thanksgiving's gonna be around the corner. You're gonna have your friends wanting to go out and hang out more. This is a really activity-based season, very similar to the Christmas season. You feel like you're always going somewhere, eating out somewhere. So doing an outing for two, to throw a party for two, it's simplistic and it's beautiful and it's really nice combo. I did one, I'll show it here with my husband, and I loved it. I completely threw out. I brought out all the pumpkins and I brought out all the good food, and the cleanup was really nice because it wasn't for 20 people, it was for two. Next, number two is going to be your outdoor movie nights. This can be a summer activity, but I personally like this in the fall. I really recommend getting into the Loki series. I don't know why, but we watched it in fall, so now it's a favorite for me to be able to see. And then the other one is a Twilight. It's a classic. If you're not wanting to stay up late, every episode's 20, 30 minutes. So if you decide to stop, you're not stopping in the middle of a 2-hour film. Highly recommend. Number three, stargazing. I really recommend you pair this with the outdoor movie. When my husband and I would do outdoor movie nights, even if we had work the next day, instead of just rushing to get to bed, I would say, well, let's just wait for 10 minutes and let's just look up and stare at the constellations for a minute and pick them out. And it was such a fun experience. You're already out there, you're already in a good position to look at the stars. Or if you have a telescope, pull it out. This would actually be, I've really thought this would be a really good party idea. It's like a stargazing party, and you could bring popcorn. Anybody that has a telescope can bring their telescope. And if I was to do one, I would do a game where I would pull out all the constellations that are visible from my location and that time of year, and who can find all the constellations first wins a prize. I haven't done it, but I think it'd be fun. Go and ride the Hiawatha Trail. Hiawatha Trail, it's in northern Idaho. My husband and I tried it. It's downhill or it's a lot of flat. There's little to no uphill. I don't remember any uphill. And then when you get to the bottom, there's a bus and it'll take you back up. I don't recommend going in later September, especially when they're coming close to closing. There's a reason they close it. It gets cold. And we were having so much fun looking at the beauty and the view, and the weather was not playing nice on our little Hans. Number five is going to be your book club for two. Again, I'm really big about being kind to yourself and your calendar. This is a season where people are suddenly getting excited because the weather's getting better, people are going to be getting out more. And when I think about it, the idea of hosting 10 people at a book club, it might sound fun for you, but to me it's a little overwhelming. So just finding one person, you pick a book, a murder mystery, whatever you guys want to read, and you two just meet up for coffee and talk about the book. It just seems so much easier than trying to work through a lot of different people's schedules. Personal opinion, but work with this as you will. Number 6 is going to be a stroll through the park. Big one, go check out the leaves. They're changing and they're beautiful, so why not? Go for a walk. Another one is go biking through the park. It's the same exact thing, but you are moving faster. Why not? And then we're going to go on to a fall photo shoot. Your fall photo shoot is one that you can get a photographer, which I could not recommend enough. A photographer is going to guarantee you get good photos, good lighting. It helps you out a lot with posing. But if you're saying, Kaylee, it's not in the budget this year to pay for a photographer for a family fall photo shoot, I'm going to give a second recommendation that's budget friendly, but I have to give a disclaimer. Before I give the disclaimer, it's that you do a fall photo shoot swap. So the fall photo shoot swap is where you find someone who has semi-good talent and you have semi-good talent ideally, and then you guys agree, I'll take photos of your family, you take photos of my family. It could be a couple, it could be family, it doesn't matter. But this is my disclaimer. Remember what I said earlier about a photographer and all the benefits? Well, that could be all the cons to just getting a friend taking your photos. You have to come to terms with you might not like the photos that come out, they might not take good angles, they might not know how to pose you, and you're gonna have to come prepared to figure out how to pose and get comfortable. So if that's not you, you need to go to a photographer. Next one is going to be your haunted mansion. And then the other one I really want to recommend is going to be the Celtic games, your Celtic festivals. These, I have seen some that happen in the September timeline, but a lot of them will happen in mid to late August. I view this for myself personally as a transition into September. I don't know, it's all the plaid representing the clans, and then it's just cool, everybody's outdoors. We went to the Celtic games and it was awesome. It was like kind of almost a drizzly rain, but not enough to annoy you, and it was just, it was a great activity to transition into fall. I have a lot of Scottish heritage in me, so maybe this is just a me thing, but I think it's epic when you get to go and see where all the different clans are from and where your family's clan is from. I just recommend it. I really recommend it. Next, it's going to be watch a scary or fall movie. Other one is when you get into this season, you guys see it, Starbucks has all of their favorite flavors or their seasonal flavors that are out. I recommend that you and another person that you care very deeply about go and pick your favorite flavors, and then you guys can swap and share. Oh, it's just fun. Just have a sample day. Just go have a sample day with all the different flavors. Next is going to be order your favorite meal, or I should really say a seasonal meal at a restaurant. Some restaurants have seasonal dishes that come in, maybe an apple pie dessert that comes in around this time. And speaking of apple pie, let's talk about apple picking, which leads to apple pie making. My husband and I went apple picking. It's a really fun activity. You get to pick your apples, you get to pick the different flavors. It's an awesome setting. Gosh, I think it's so fun. Oh my gosh, if you did your photo shoot in an apple picking setting, like go pick apples and then get a couple of photos. But how cool would that be? So we got like 2 buckets worth. I used a lot of the apples to make things like name cards and decor, and I gave a lot of apples away to some of my favorite apple lover people. Now I'm staring at a bucket of apples that I don't know what to do with, and I'm not an apple pie person, but my aunt is and my husband is. So I'm thinking that I might give a portion to the neighbors and then attempt an apple pie. I'll let you know if I actually decide to commit. Build a bonfire for 2 or 10. We don't mind company. Explore a corn maze. Roast chestnuts. And go to a drive-in movie theater. Guys, drive-in movie theaters are the best experience out there. Then we have turn up the music and bake bread together. A fall-themed bread. That could be by a recipe, right? You could do like a hazelnut bread or something like that. I recommend making your bread look like autumn. I'll put in a picture in here, but guys, I got so much into trying to do different designs with my bread, and I made a pumpkin one. Like I actually cut out a stem and I scored it, and there's a blog post on how I did it. Next up, go on a hayride, go get yourself a pumpkin, do some pumpkin carving, and then you just might want to have a game night. You could do that all together. You can do all of those things separately. Games that I really think are awesome, depending on how many people you have playing, is going to be Splendor, Small World, Ticket to Ride, Skip Bow. highly recommend. I'm a game person all the way. Something I think that would be so much fun is to make a Mexican hot chocolate. I think that would be a blast. I think that would be, I don't know. I want to try it this year. If you've ever tried Mexican hot chocolate, there's a lot more spices in it, and I like things that have a bit of a kick. So I'll let you guys know if I actually end up doing that this year. When I'm thinking about fall, I really go all out when I'm thinking about just outdoor activities and being able to enjoy this weather. This is when you might want to be doing things like pickleball and like horseback riding and going and roller skating. It's just, this is the best weather. I don't mind summer whatsoever, but when you're in really blazing heat, you just want to stay inside where the AC is. This is the time to thrive, going outside and really enjoying the weather. Next up is go to the farmer's market while you can, because they start closing down come fall time. So really get in there to be able to get your good squashes and get your pumpkins and before they close. And the next one is go and enjoy the East Coast side, the New England side, the East Coast side. Anything over in the East is just gorgeous this time of year. Their fall is like on steroids. It's beautiful. The colors, the trees, everything. I really recommend if you can go anywhere in the East come this time. Oh my goodness, don't hesitate. A random road trip just to be able to go and hang out with family and friends. I don't know what's better. I mean, you get in the car, you guys pull out all your favorite snacks, get a good soundtrack going, and half the time it's just the drive and the conversations and get some good card games going. There's some really good escape rooms that can spook you during this season, and it's a fun way to be able to just bring out your family's like creative puzzle solving side. Take a stroll downtown. This is when your window shops are going to be decorated in fall decor. It's kind of popular. I think it's fun. And then also you could fly a kite. Again, this is the time where you hear me say, I should have merged this all under activities. I should have just said them all at once, but it's too late. We're committed now. But anything that has to do with all things outdoor come this season, I recommend. And flying a kite is freaking awesome. Another one is going to be zip line through a national forest. Again, the trees are changing. What a better time than to go on a zip line? Honestly, I kind of want to do this, but I don't have any zip lines where I'm at. So maybe one day. And then the next one, go to a local fall festival. Just go online, check out what's in your town's calendar. Every town has one where it's talking about what they're going to be hosting. Your library a lot of times does fall activities around this time. So go and see what your local town is doing and just go participate. It's like a party that was prepared for you. Next is get tickets to your favorite band. If you got friends that have the favorite same taste in music, what a better way to celebrate it. And Black Friday shopping. Black Friday shopping can be an experience. For some people, it's a tradition where they go out and they go enjoy the Black Friday shopping experience just for fun, and they go out and wait in lines. Another one we have is a Macy's Day Parade. This is a classic, and I just get it going while you're making dinner, have it going in the backdrop. I think it's so cool to be able to see. Bake fall treats and give them to your neighbors. Go bowling, hang out with friends, as well as you should go picnicking in the park. The idea of putting out an orange tablecloth and getting out some cute like white plates. I don't know why wouldn't you do that? Why haven't I done that? I think I should go do that. And take a scenic train ride. There are some train rides around in America that you can go and get on. And I think it's just a cool way to be able to really quickly see the different views. Who wouldn't want to do that? Karaoke night, camping trip. Unless you're into cold weather, I might recommend this more towards the earlier side of September, because then otherwise you're going to be waking up a little chilly in the morning. But if you don't mind and you know how to be able to bundle up and stay warm, camping throughout September, even a little bit into October, can be a blast. Enjoy a cozy small town. Okay, think of it like Gilmore Girls, like a little small town that you can go and just look up vintage shops and look up just the little tiny cafes that they have. They exist, you guys, and there's something special about it in the simplicity, especially like on the East Coast side. If you're into thrifting, they have better thrift shops. I'll just say it. Like, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, it's rough. But I know on the East Coast side, like when I was in Portland, Maine, the thrift stores were amazing. The items that they had, the clothes you could get, the items you'd find. I went to the thrift stores regularly and there was constantly new stuff. So go to a cozy small town and go thrift store shopping. It's a blast. A simple one, enjoy a pumpkin spice tea with someone you love. We forget to do this and slow down. We don't always have to be packing up the car to go somewhere. We don't always have to be hosting an event. It can be as simple as even in your own home. Let me go make us some tea and sit out on the front porch, occasionally wave to a neighbor as they pass by, and just enjoy conversation over a seasonal spice. It's that simple, guys. You don't have to really spend much of any money to enjoy this season. That's one of my favorite memories, is just enjoying a meal or enjoying a tea, and there was no prep, there was no decor, there was nothing involved. It was just enjoying the person's presence. So if you're overwhelmed with going, how am I going to cram all of this in? Sometimes you might just need a simple moment. Enjoy a simple moment. Oh, this next one. I've wanted to do this for so long. Make a candy apple competition. Hear me out. There are so many pretty designs that you can do with candy apples. I've seen them on Pinterest. I see you. And I was like, if you got all the toppings and like helped just your family set up if they're not experienced in the foundation, and then have like a candy apple competition of who makes the cutest one, and then have some neutral judges and let there be a prize. I like competition, but just make the coolest looking candy apple. There's something about that. It just merges the craft world with the food world, and what a fun party activity, right? And we have, go to your local zoo, play some lawn games. What's that one? I really like it. Croquet. Is that right? Is it croquette or is it croquet? I don't know, but I think you guys know. My husband's family introduced me to that, and now I really miss playing it. It's a lot of fun. The other one is roast s'mores. Have a Nerf war. This is especially going to be a hit with the men. Have a Nerf war, give everyone a Nerf gun, and just hopefully have a big enough backyard to where it's competitive enough. There's kicking through the fall leaves, and then there's shooting through the fall leaves. Why not? It's a little healthy aggression. Take a cooking class together. You could either go to a cooking class, which I've been really tempted, but they're kind of out of my budget range. So what I've looked at doing is instead I'll look up like a video on YouTube of someone explaining, going through a recipe, and you just have all the ingredients ready, and like you and your friends can start learning just from the YouTube video. So you can go to an official cooking class, or if you're needing to go on the budget side, you can go on YouTube and find a really good fall recipe, like a cooking class in your own home. Go on a hot air balloon ride. Check out all the fall foliage from the air. Another one, if you can, oh my gosh, I just thought of this. If you could go flying. My husband's a pilot, and so we would, when we were in a really pretty area with fall foliage, he would take us up to be able to go and look around and just see the trees from above, and it's a completely different experience. Try to get in the air. Hot air balloon, whether you're taking a trip to another location, try to get a window seat, or go up in a Cessna 172 and check out the fall foliage from above. And our next one that's up is put together a costume, whether it's a couple costume, whether it's your own single, like creative costume, and go to a Halloween party. Maybe consider making your own costume. That's something that can really be a treat, is to be able to say, yes, I put this together. Have a date night in an arcade. Something about that has childhood nostalgia written all over it. A dance party with your pajamas is also another really good hit. And then I also recommend book a cabin in your local community that maybe is in a really pretty part of your local community, and just enjoy an evening, just a home away from home that's only maybe 10 minutes away. It's a cool experience, especially if it's a cabin in that rustic feel. I grew up in a cabin most of my life, so I understand there's a whole different vibe when you're in cabin life and you can light a fire, maybe roast some marshmallows. It's a good experience. It's a good experience. If you guys, for all of my musical friends out there, are good at writing songs, write a song for fall. I don't think there's nearly enough songs for fall in comparison to Christmas. I'm not complaining. I will always take more Christmas songs, but I think we seriously need to up our game on fall too. I'm just saying. The other thing is you could make scented fall candles. Scented fall candles, maybe have a candle making party and like decorate them. Like I've seen people do this where they will go and they will put a portion of wax in it and then put like a couple pumpkins in it and then like put another portion of wax in it and then put more leaves in it, and then they have a really nice decorated fall candle. So maybe consider it. Who knows? You could be a candle maker in your future. You never know. And with that is our 67, but I feel like there was actually more than 67. Maybe I'll go back and actually try to count, but I feel like as I went, I added more along the way. But that's not the point. That is our 67 plus fall activities that I recommend you guys consider this time of year. Whether it's going outdoor, indoor, hanging out with family and friends, this is the season to get excited and to just enjoy the people that you're with. The weather is amazing. It's gonna get colder, and that's when sometimes it gets a little bit harder and the sun's gonna start going away. So this is the season that you really wanna thrive and just get out there. Don't waste this season. Go and enjoy it. Now, you remember I promised I would talk about this. This is a fall autumn guide that I just made. It's got an option for you guys to make your own to-do list. It's got a little calendar that you can make you could set it up as a calendar, you could set it up as like a bingo game. It's got blank sheets for you to fill out, and then it has pre-filled out sheets for you to be able to use. I'll show you a little bit about what you get with it. So I call it the ultimate autumn lifestyle guide, but I just put together this cute item that I thought you guys could frame. Go to Dollar Tree, get a frame. It was kind of cute. It says Forever Chasing Autumn, and I thought what a cool idea to be able to include just a little like decor item in there. The other one is your autumn movie must watch list. This is an example of a blank where you can fill it out, and so you have your cozy fall movies, Halloween thrill, and chilling horror. So I've got a section for all my favorites, whether or not, I'm not really into a horror, but all people's favorites that you guys can be able to fill out and choose to be able to do, whether you do them all or maybe just a couple of sections. And then if you liked the idea of what I talked today on, you can be able to fill them out in your own autumn bucket list. I made it really nice and long so you guys can have this ready. It's aesthetically pleasing, so it's something that you guys can put on your counter and be excited to be able to check it off with each activity that you do. This is the example of your autumn activity calendar list. You can fill out each one that you can set up as a bingo, or you could set it up as an actual calendar. I have the days of the week in there, so that way you can choose to do either bingo or calendar. And then this is the example where if you don't want to fill it out yourself, I pre-filled out one for you. I don't know how well you can see it. Ooh. I actually don't know what the words are going to be reversed for you. You have again your autumn fall activity challenges. This one is going to be for movies. I have some like suggestions pre-filled out. The other one is going to be, this does not include everything we discussed in today's YouTube video, but it has quite a few. I think it has 30 something activities pre-filled out that you can use. I will link this down below where you guys can get the option to be able to download this, and it's only a printable. I don't yet have the abilities to be able to make something digital where you guys can play with it on a tablet. Maybe one day in the future. And if you guys have any ideas of what you guys would like for future printables, especially like Christmas time, let me know. Thanks guys so much for tuning in. That concludes our autumn activity bucket list. I hope you guys had fun, and it was so nice being able to just see you guys all again, and I wish you guys all a fantastic rest of your week. Stay awesome.